doing wrong, yet we haven't pointed in ourselves, because we all have something that we add into the corruption. We have something that we add into. Sometimes are things that you have not resolved within yourself. Maybe you had childhood trauma. Maybe you had trauma in a particular time. Maybe you have trauma as an adult, but you don't know how to release your trauma in a healthy way. So what you do is push that trauma to other people. And sometimes people are so afraid inside, but it comes out as anger. I'll be very honest with you. I've been watching, and I truly believe President Ruto was very afraid. And so the reaction when someone is very afraid is, how do I protect myself? How do I protect myself? Oh, I'm being kicked out. I'm not going to allow. This is what I want to do. I know I can do the best. So what do? Flight or fly? Flight, fly, or fight. Okay? So he decided he's going to fight, but then the way he's fighting was not the good. And then when he understood that, hey, this is not going to fly, I need to look at something different. That's where we are right now. And this is why I'm telling Kenyans that President Ruto, if he's willing to come to the table and mediate, I think it will be the best for our country. That does not mean that he still has 3 years, right? Is it 3 or 2 years? How can he be able, how can we give him a second chance to be able to finish those 2 years and for him to be able to listen to everything that people are saying and actually implement? Then we go back to the votes in 2027. If we don't want him there, let's get him out and put someone that really cares. I love the fact that he has said that civil servants, when they get 60 years old, they need to retire. Now, President Ruto or his representative or people who hear this, news media, everybody. Now I ask the President Ruto, you don't just do it for civil servants, you also do it for the politicians. So we need to have Congress bring the law that when everybody turns 60 years old in Kenya, whether you are a civil servant, if a company wants to retain you, private companies, they can retain you. But if for civil servants and the politicians, when they turn the age of 60, they need to not run again. We need to bring that mandate. This is why politicians are the ones who write the law. They're the ones who bring policies. And if we have corrupted politicians and we have the old people, I'm going to be old one of these fine days. I'm a Gen Z mom and I'm proud of my age. And when we bring younger population into our system who are intelligent, who have a formal education, who have skills, because having formal education does not mean you're intelligent. Those are two different things. You can be intelligent and you don't even have formal education. So we need to be requiring members of parliament to be able to go in, just like the way you're requiring chiefs that they have to have graduated from 4. We need to start requiring that members of parliament go there. If you're going to put anybody in the cabinet, do not add anyone that does not have formal education. So that they can be able, because when you sit down in a room with someone who does not have formal education and you're trying to negotiate something or you're trying to debate something, they're always going to be at a disadvantage from the people who have the formal education and have the intelligence. So intelligence is different. Formal education is different. So do not, I caution any leader, governors out there, I caution you from rewarding the people that fought for you in politics, but they don't know what it's doing. That's why the administration is failing. Let me give you an example. The former president of the United States rewarded a lot of people that supported him in the education, but they did not know how his politics when he was president, when he was running. But we saw how the government failed because people that were put in place did not have the knowledge to run the government. So you cannot run your government the way you run your house. Unfortunately, you cannot do that. Your house is completely different than how you run a government. So I urge you to look at people who have had education, make sure that that education has been really confirmed, that people have gone to these universities, not fake papers, that they have really gone, they have graduated, they have the skills. Because just having a degree does not make you expert than the person that does not have a degree. We have talent that can be included in here. And now in America, a lot of employers are not just hiring people because they have a degree. They're also bringing talent together because there's a lot of people who might be talented. Let me give you an example. Give me a second, I gotta take a drink. You might have a youth who is very good with their hands. They have not had formal education. I know somebody who has not gone to school. They only went up to Form 4, and they're very good with their hands. They can literally take every single piece of a car, everything out, and they can be able to rebuild everything. And they do not have that education. It's a talent and a gift from God. Yes, we do have those people, but we don't allow those people to be the ones who are governing the country. We put them in places where they can be able to either advise the people that are running the government, or they can be able to do those things. So that's different from running the governance. So every member of parliament out there, and I urge the Gen Zs and everybody that is going to be voting in 2027, is that don't vote anybody that is over 60. Don't. Just like the way the law is going to be 60 years old for civil servants, because civil servants actually follow the policy that the politicians have put in place. So if we really want to bring change, then we need to make sure that we clean up the politicians that are 60 and above. We get them out of office and we put the young generation. Then at that time, we're all going to be happy, because then we're bringing this. We can put them aside and bring the ones that we know that they're not corrupt, that can actually be mentors for the newer generation that is going in. Because we never in Africa discount our elders because they have wisdom. But that doesn't mean that they need to be leading us. They can be advising us. So that's the advice that I advise. And I want to caution this. Just because someone says he's a bishop or is a pastor does not mean that that's what they do. They probably do some other shady stuff behind closed doors or when the cameras are closed. So I understand there's a lot of people that are getting paid a lot of money to pray for the country. Why would you pay someone to pray for the country? I thought prayer was free. Why would you pay someone to pray for the country? I pray for the country. I don't get paid. God pays me back by me showing the love for my country and praying for the country. So let's not pay someone. And even if we're paying advisors, we can't pay 10 bishops, 20 bishops, like millions of dollars to be praying. Come on now. Are you praying the living God that we're praying, or are you praying something that you put out there? That's just something to ask. Okay. So I like what he says about the tax audit. I like, and I'm not going to forget to say this because I don't want to spend so much of my time there. I like how he said that he's going to appoint 8 members team to audit the public debt. So let me say something a little bit about this. President Ruto, this is what I know about loans, because I've had a share on my own. In America, when we buy a car, they do run something called credit. And when you buy a mortgage, they run something called credit. They see what credit you can have. And maybe you can put a lien. The company that is selling you will put a lien. So here is a question for you. And I appreciate what you've said. You're starting it right. You're doing something good. You're going to find out how much the government of Kenya owes other governments, or owes anywhere out there. When you're finding out, can you tell us how much interest rate the country is paying or is supposed to be paying? Because the country could just be paying for interest rate and never pay the principal. So that means we're never going to get out of debt. Another suggestion I have for you over there. Other countries normally ask for their debt to be forgiven. consider asking for forgiveness of the debt that is in Kenya. Once you find out that the debt that is in Kenya, how much we owe, and if someone from your team or anybody wants to get in touch with me, I'm happy to give them details on how you can ask for the debt to be forgiven. Here in the United States, people get their debt forgiven. So the country is in so much turmoil right now. And if your friends from other nations really want to help you and not take advantage of you and not take advantage of Kenya resources, then you have the bargaining power to be able to come forward and let them know to forgive the debt, and we start from square one. To forgive, do not sell our country, but you can ask them to forgive debt because they do forgive all the time. So just throwing that one out there to you. I see that you say that Nancy Onyango to lead the team to conclude audit within 3 months. I like that. That is doable. That is doable. The last advice I can give. Okay, I really like the way you also said about managing the public debt. So I just gave you an idea of how you can manage. All right, now let's go into my topic. All right, thank you for allowing me to kind of talk a little bit about President Ruto's speech. So now I'm going to look at everybody that has tagged in, that has logged in live, and I want to ask you to share. I am going to teach you something today on how you're going to be able to heal or to begin healing from the turmoil. Kenya has gone through so much in so many years. And then this trauma that we have all witnessed, people dying, we've witnessed our kids dying, we've witnessed a lot of people have lost property, the business people that were looted, they've lost basically everything. We've also lost a lot of lives. People have been killed and shot. So this is a lot of trauma. And last week, I talked about trauma. Let me remind you what trauma is. Trauma is witnessing something scary or witnessing something that is not pleasant, or something that we don't agree with, that stops you from sleeping, that makes you sad, that makes you, does a lot of so many different things. So if you cannot remember anything, just remember that trauma in simplest form is witnessing or hearing of something that is not pleasant, something that you cannot stomach, something that brings you anger, something that brings you sadness. And we have gone through so much trauma in Kenya and the world in general. We've seen a lot of killings. COVID just ended. People have not even recovered from COVID. So how can we be able to live with ourselves after witnessing all this trauma? Okay. Let me look and see if there's any questions that have come so far, and then I can go into that. Okay, 90, I get it. Let me see. Yes. Siteya, yes. Siteyan. Yes, that's a very good topic. So anyway, so let's go. So let me give a shout out to everybody that is here. I want to shout out to my Gisela. Thank you for tuning in. Naini, thank you for tuning in. Let me see. I saw somebody else who made a comment. I think I saw Michael Langoi Kaka. Thank you so much for tuning in. Edith Nyaga, thank you so much for tuning in. The ones that are going to come, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all of you. So let's dig into my topic. So after seeing everything that has happened in our country, there's definitely so much pain that a lot of us are going through. And there's a lot of things that we can be able to do to begin healing. The first thing that I will encourage everybody to consider doing is to start finding healthy ways of reducing and releasing that pain, which is the trauma and everything. I have a few techniques that I can teach you how to reconnect back with your own self as a human being. Number one is to acknowledge that suffering is real, and to acknowledge that you did witness something, and be compassionate with yourself that you witnessed something that was so traumatic that makes you sad that you cannot sometimes be able to sleep by watching that thing, or listening, or even stammer people talking about the thing. Once you recognize that that has happened to you, then you come back and recognize that it's something that you witnessed, or it's something that you have gone through. The key word is through, because it's going out of you. It's not staying in you. And how can we be able to help you take it out of your brain, out of your subconscious mind and your conscious mind, so that you can be able to find peace within yourself and peace within your surrounding? So the key to that, number one, is acknowledging it. Number two is finding that peaceful place that you can be able to sit in and be able to just take a deep breath and just remind yourself that, for instance, this is not happening to me. It's something that happened. And everything that is happening, by the way, it does happen for us, not to you. Let me give you a very good example. Right now, Kenya has experienced a lot of trauma. It's like a marriage that has so much toxicity and negative implications in there. Let me use an example. Let's say President Ruto is the husband, okay, or the father of the country. And we are not happy with what he's doing. That's why people are fighting, right? So just like a marriage where people do fight, there's always things that happen inside that we don't even know that are happening. That when someone comes out and tell it all, sometimes people will be shocked. They don't know what to believe or who to believe. But when you sit back, because in a marriage, only the couple that can be able to tell the naked truth. Everything else that the couple says outside. In Maasai, we have a saying that, I'm going to butcher this. When someone speaks, everybody try to fix their shoe. Who can help me with that quote? Mero lungani lemobor endabanenye or enamugenye, something like that. I'm not saying it right. So so what that means is, when I come and tell my story of maybe living an abusive situation, I will tell it through my lens and through my perception of how I perceived it. And then when my partner comes and tells the story, they tell it through their perception. So we are the only two, and God, that knows what really happened. But then my partner is going to have people that are going to support them, and people that will choose to be my enemy because they support my partner. And then we have me, people will choose to believe me, and they start creating enemies with my partner and the people around it. So that's what the country is going through right now. People who do not, it's like a marriage for real. And it's a marriage with a narcissistic personality, which is very, very difficult to deal with narcissistic personalities. I'll come and talk specifically next week about narcissistic personality and narcissistic behavior that I witnessed. And in the entire leadership, not just in Kenya, even here in the United States. And a lot of our leaders, by the way, they have the traits of narcissistic personalities, okay? It's a behavior, and actually it's something that is diagnosed. It's actually a disease, a mental health disease, if you did not know that. So let's continue talking about how we can be able to bring peace among ourselves. I always encourage everybody to ask themselves a question before they try to bring peace within themselves. So today I want you to ask yourself, how does this make me feel? And what is this? Does it make you feel angry? Does it make you feel sad? How is it affecting you, your spirit? And how is it affecting your mental? And how is it affecting your physical? Everything that has happened in the country. How is it affecting your finances? How is it affecting your relationship? And then say, I feel angry. I feel sad. That is acknowledging how you're feeling. And then I'll give you all some affirmations that you're going to do. Another thing that you can be able to do is set healthy boundaries. What do I mean by setting healthy boundaries? It's setting healthy boundaries in relationships so that you can be able to start healing, so that you can be able to start making peace. Because sometimes if we are around people who are so negative, they don't see anything positive, then we submerge ourselves in that, and it makes us increase so much pain. So how do you separate yourself with pain? Let me give you a personal story. In 2018, I went through a very, very traumatic situation. I was very sad. I was very angry to a point that I almost committed suicide. Yes, me. I was 400 pounds, over 400 pounds, like over 200 kilos. But now I'm okay. It's a story I'm telling you. I don't want you to feel sorry for me. I want you to connect this story with what is happening in your life and what is happening in the country. So when I divorced my ex-husband, and this is something I can say, it's not talking ill. I'm using the story to try and connect you guys. I've healed. I've worked on myself. So what happened? The friends that I had to completely clean out everybody from my list, and I started bringing new friends because I was tired of listening to the negative things that they were talking about my ex, and what they were bringing me stories from what my ex was saying. I was bullied on Facebook by a group of 12,000 women because this is what they say. You only need one enemy plus the other enemy, and you can destroy somebody. You just need two people who don't like somebody, and they can destroy somebody. And that's what happened in my case. So many harsh words were said, so many bad things were said, in an extent that I was told I had diseases that I don't have, just to be able to defame me, to a point that I was almost filing for defamation. But then, because of the peace of mind that I needed to have, and the intense therapy that I had, and the intense coaching that I had, I found peace within myself. I was able to completely set boundaries by, first of all, forgiving myself, because it's normally the hardest thing. And then I forgave my perpetrator and forgave all the ones who perpetrated together. In domestic violence, leaving your perpetrator is someone who has affected you, who has hurt you, either physically, either sexually, anywhere, the way they have hurt you in a relationship, in so many things, and it's toxic, or speaking ill about you. I know that there are people who are still speaking ill about me, but do I care? I don't give a hoot. Because what? I have the power within me. I know who I am, and I know what I'm capable of. And some people sometimes will talk ill about you because they actually admire the thing that you're carrying that they don't have. Some will be jealous of you. You are intimidating someone without knowing that you're intimidating someone. Maybe because they think that you're better than them, or you're actually better than them. And instead of them trying to find a way they can be able to be good at what they're good at, they go around and start talking ill about you. You probably know exactly what I'm talking about. You probably have people who have talked really ill about you because you've ended a relationship, and they will never have peace within themselves, especially when they continue seeing you doing very well. Some of them may have wanted you to die, but they don't carry your life. They're not the ones who gave you the life. So they can't take your life. Does that make sense? So setting boundaries is something very healthy. And forgive does not mean forget. So Kenyans, my brothers, when you forgive, I urge you to forgive President Ruto. Yes, I am saying that. For neglecting our country and for being corrupt. When you forgive, you're not forgiving for President Ruto. You're forgiving so you can find peace within yourself. Because when you're compassionate and you're forgiving, it is the best way you can bring peace within yourself. That's number one. Number two, we need to set a boundary because we've already told President Ruto what we need and how he was leading the country wrong. And we have also seen that he's capable of talking about what has happened. So now let's give him time to bring the country together. And the only way we can do that is by setting a boundary and saying, by the way, we still expect you to do this. We are watching you from there, and the same way we went to the street to demonstrate, we're going to do the same. Now, take everybody off that is corrupt. And if you're corrupt yourself, we're going to give you a second chance because we need to be people that love, people that have compassion, show other people compassion so we can receive that compassion. That does not mean what he did was right. Or that doesn't mean that the person that you're angry at, what they did, they're right. You're not acknowledging that they did something right. That's why you're with them. You're acknowledging that because I want peace in my heart and I want to stay healthy. I'm going to acknowledge the mistake and then I'm going to forgive. But don't forget, set a boundary so you can be healthy. All right, I'm going to give one more and then, because I don't want this to be very, very long. All right, another one is what you can do every morning when you wake up, and I'm going to walk you all through a small meditation today that you can do. When you wake up in the morning, let's start from before you go to bed. Before you go to bed tonight, I urge you to write 3 things that you are grateful for. 3. It could be something that I am grateful for breath. I am grateful for having a roof in my head. I am grateful for my health. Because remember, there's someone who does not have a roof on their head, and there's someone who is not healthy, and there's someone who really cannot be able even to see. Appreciate and say, I'm grateful I can see, I have eyes. I'm grateful I have 2 hands. I'm grateful I have life. I'm grateful I have family. Be grateful. You're the one who knows what you have. And then say, pick up 3 things that you don't have that you would like to have. And say, instead of you saying, I don't have this, you turn it into a positive thinking and you say, by faith, let's say you need $10,000 or 10,000 Kenya shillings. You say, I have 10,000 Kenya shillings. And you have faith and ask God, ask the universe to give it to you. Remember, power of tongue. Okay? The tongue is very powerful. when we start changing our situation, the negativity, and we bring positivity in there, the positivity is going to happen. Remember, and if you don't know this, what the energy you give out there is the energy that you receive. Let me explain what that means. If you show love, you will receive love. If you show anger, you will receive anger. Because this world is everything that we do. If you do negative to someone, that negativity is what you're calling yourself. That's deep, so I'm not going to explain it anymore. So I talked about gratitude journal. So journal at night before you go to bed what you're grateful for and what you don't want to have. Say it in a positive way and call it into in a positive way. Number 2, we're talking about how you can give gratitude. And then you need to start reflecting on a piece of paper. That is called journal writing. Write. When you get upset, if you don't have someone to talk to, you can write it down in a piece of paper. Get a book. Go buy a book. Books are probably, I don't know, you used to buy them for 20 shillings. I don't know how much they are now, maybe $200 or 200 shillings. Sorry. Excuse me. When I say dollars, I'm talking about shillings. I'm so used to dollars because that's the currency we use. So write everything down. If you're angry at somebody, write everything you wanted to tell someone there in that piece of paper. Write it with all that anger. Remove all that emotion. It's okay. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to scream, scream. Write it down. Because you're releasing it out of your heart. If you need to cry, tears clean. When you cry, I swear it does something. It just relaxes you. And then that piece of paper that you've written, don't keep it. Burn it. Burn it. And then actually get the things that you burn, blow them away outside, and envision every single problem that you've written there on that piece of paper. Blow it away. See it going away from the air. I promise you, you're going to sleep well. I promise you, you're going to feel better. Believe me, these are things that we coach people to do, and they feel, they get peace of mind, they get everything. The other thing, go to nature, get outside, walk outside. You're very stressed out. Just go outside. There's something to do with stepping the ground barefooted. Connect with Mother Earth. Because remember, we all come, for those who believe this, we all come from the soil. And we are all going to, when we die, all of us are going to be put back into soil, right? Our body is going to rot, but our bones are going to rot, but our spirit will move on somewhere else. So when you connect with Mother Earth, when you stand up there on completely barefooted, stand barefooted and envision, close your eyes, envision and tell God, I ask that I tap my hand, my legs, or Allah, or whoever you pray. If you are people that believe just in the earth or our older ancestors or anything, whatever you believe in, call in what you believe in and say, I ask you to ground me so that I can be able to feel better. Remember, the earth, we feed the earth with water. When you're wanting to plant a plant, you put it under the soil and then you pour water in it for it to be able to blossom and grow. That tells me, if you did not know that, or think about it, when you put something on the ground, you're putting your feet on the ground and you're pouring water, the water that you're pouring in is calling in the Holy Spirit, of calling in whatever you pray and asking them to pour into you. You're standing on the ground. Then what happens is the good energy that grows you comes up from down the ground, and then you're able to be at peace. Just try it. If you don't believe it, that's okay. But just try it. Go to nature, start outside, or just go where when you go in nature and you go in a place where there's very good mountains Kenya is beautiful. Just walk. If you're not go to Motoni, go to somewhere where there's just a bush. Just walk there and just try your level best to just not think about anything. Enjoy the breath. Enjoy the breeze air. Enjoy. Just touch the trees, touch the grass. I promise you, you're going to feel good. So now, if I had asked for people to come with a piece of paper, because I wanted to give you guys a couple things to do. I want you to write this reflection question, and I want you to be reflecting on this question the whole week until I come back next week on Friday at the same time to teach you something else. We're going to continue with this topic. We're not going to talk about Ruta or anything. We're not going to talk about that. We're going to just talk about us this time. So I want you to ask yourself, and you can close your eyes or you can write in a piece of paper. I want you to ask yourself, what practices can you incorporate to cultivate inner peace? What practices do you feel you can incorporate or you can add into your daily routine so that you can find inner peace? You're the one who knows you. You know what you need. I'm just giving you a tool. Okay, second question to ask is, what actionable steps can you use so that you can be able to take the question, the question of incorporating. So what actionable steps can you be able to take to make sure that what you have found out within yourself that will bring you peace, how can you implement that? Those are two reflection questions that I want you to think about the whole of this week. Now, I've spoken to you all about the power of meditation, the power of affirmation. So today, let me look and see if there's any questions before I can take us to a little bit of a meditation. Today, I'm going to take you all through a little meditation that I encourage you. Before I take you through this meditation, I'm going to tell you what it means. There is power in thinking positive. There is power in using positive affirmation. It changes your mindset. It changes how you look at things. So I'm going to teach you how you can start incorporating positive things. I'm going to give you a sample of what you can create for yourself. Okay? You can use the ones I give you if you like them, but you can rewrite them to fit you. So these meditations that I'm going to tell you, you can come back and listen to the video and write them down. So I'm going to take us into a meditation that is probably going to be a few minutes, maybe 10 minutes. I am going to play some music in the background, and then I'm going to tell you all to repeat this loud. But before we do that, I want to say thank you, because after the meditation, I'll just come back and close it. And if anybody has any question, this is the best time to ask the question, because after meditation, a lot of people in Kenya are getting ready to go to sleep. So I want them to sleep without peace. So let me say this. Thank you for everybody that has come to watch me. I appreciate you. I thank you. And I hope you can consider finding peace within your heart. So here we go. I am going to say this. You can repeat them aloud, or you can write them down. But I really would like for you right now to go ahead and put away everything. Hopefully you're ready to go to bed. And when you're done putting away everything, and you can do this later, you can come back and log in and listen to it when you're ready to go to bed. And then when you're getting ready to go to bed, don't go back on Facebook. Listen to this, say a prayer, or take a shower, say a prayer, and then get ready to go to bed. If you do not have water, use a little bit of water, do a little sponge bath on your body, and then get yourself ready. Because when you sleep, when you're clean, then it brings in good, clean energy to you. There's a saying that cleanliness is next to godliness. So at night, when you sleep, your spirit travels. Your spirit leaves your body and actually travels. So you want it to travel when you are clean and in good spirits. Yes, it does. That's a topic for a different day. So here we go. Let me take some water, and then you're welcome to do what I say or just listen. Now, I encourage all of you to take a deep breath. We're going to take a deep breath. We're going to inhale really deep and then hold it on the top of your mouth, all the way up there. Put your tongue on top and then release it like straw. We're going to do 3 of those. These affirmations that I'm giving you, affirmations that you can start with to relax your mind every morning. And you can do them many times during the day when you feel like you're anxious, to bring positive thinking into your life and be able to relax the stress. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath together. Release. Feel the deep breath all over your lungs and release it. Taking a deep breath does give oxygen in our head, which cleans out our entire body. So let's take another deep breath in. Now let's take the last deep breath. And the best way to take a deep breath, you take it in, make sure you feel it from your nose, and then you put your tongue up there when you're closing your mouth, and then count to 8, and then now release. Feel the air in your lungs. So now, I want you to repeat this loud, or to say it in your head or in your heart. You can close your eyes if you feel like you want to close your eyes. If you're laying down, this should be able to put you to sleep. So one of the first affirmations that I want you to remember to say, and you can say it with me, I am grateful for the blessings in my life. I'm going to repeat that 2 times. I am grateful for the blessings in my life. I am grateful for the blessings in my life. Today, I look for and appreciate the good. Today, I look for and appreciate the good. Today, I look for and appreciate the good. I welcome peace and joy into my life. I welcome peace, joy into my life. I welcome peace and joy into my life. I am in tune with the abundant nature of the universe. I am in tune with the abundant nature of the universe. I am in tune with the abundant nature with the universe. You can change that and say I'm with God or whatever you believe in. My body knows what is best for my health and well-being. My body knows what is best for my health and well-being. I am calm and centered. I am calm and centered. I am calm and centered. I release all stress and embrace peace. I release all stress and embrace peace. I release all stress and embrace peace. I am at peace with myself and my surrounding, radiating tranquility in every step. I am at peace with myself and my surrounding, radiating tranquility in every step. I am focused and determined to moving forward with clarity and purpose. I am focused and determined to moving forward with clarity and purpose. I deserve peace, and I am worth it. I deserve peace, and I'm worth it. I deserve peace, and I'm worth it. I am loved. I am loved. I am loved. Everything that happens for me. Everything that happens for me. Now let's go ahead and take a deep breath again. Second deep breath. That deep breath. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you, and I wish you a wonderful night for the ones who are in Kenya. And I wish everybody in the United States and other places in the country that is during the day nothing but peace, love, and abundance in your life. May everything that you're seeking be seeking you. May everything you're seeking be seeking you. I speak peace upon your life. I speak favor upon your life. And I speak abundance upon your life. My name is Anna Melukai, Saint Kina, and I'm grateful for coming to watch me. I'm grateful for this opportunity to be able to share my talent and to be able to share the true compassion and the love that I have for all of you. Blessings to you all.